I'll start this with a one sentence seminar. Is there a return on investment on you spending the next 15 minutes doom scrolling or expanding your mind? Learn from an outside voice. We could all use a little coaching. In a sense, that is the purpose of this conversation. It brings to those in search of insights and ideas a new and objective voice. We are all capable of correcting our own errors, but there is often great value in an outside voice, someone who can provide an objective appraisal of how we are and what we are doing, and the potential impact of our thoughts and actions in our better future. An objective appraisal from someone whose opinion we respect, someone other than ourselves, will enable us to see things we do not see. In our personal world, we tend to see only the trees, while the objective and capable friend will more likely see the forest. Objectively brought to us in the form of wise counsel from one we trust and respect can lead us to early and accurate information about ourselves and our decision-making process. It can prevent us from reaching faulty conclusions based on familiarity with our environment. We are wise indeed if we discipline ourselves to take counsel and suggestion from someone who cares, lest life and circumstances force us to take it from someone who does not care. In the world of business, successful executives often turn to consultants who bring the freshness of an outside voice. Company employees can become so familiar with the problem at hand that they have lost their ability to see the solution that sits on their shoulders. We must all make certain that we have access to our own select person or group of associates to whom we can turn to for counsel when the winds have changed so often that we are no longer certain if we are still on the correct course. Others can help us to examine our actions objectively to ensure that we have not drifted too far away from the fundamentals, the basics. Learn from other people's experience with failure. Other people and their personal experiences offer untold opportunities for learning. Through the experience of others, there are two valuable sources of information available. Two attitudes of mind, two categories of those with similar experiences but with remarkably different results. We are all exposed on a daily basis to representatives of both groups. Each group seeks its own audience, and each has an effect on those who choose to listen. Both sources are important. One serves as an example to be followed, the other as an example to be avoided, as a warning to be studied, but not emulated. We should all be students of failure. It is part of the world experience, part of the life experience. Why do we want to study the failures? So that we can learn what not to do. All experiences can serve as our teachers, provided we learn from the information and invest its value in our own lives. There are those who teach that associations with people who have not done well with their lives and their opportunities should be avoided at all costs, for fear that they will learn their poor habits and as a consequence repeat their unfortunate mistakes. However, as someone wisely said, those who do not learn from mistakes of the past are condemned to repeat them. If we ignore the lessons of the past from whatever the source, then we may become victims of the processes of trial and error. By ignoring the lessons of history, our own trials will inevitably try us, and our errors will ultimately destroy us. It is unfortunate, perhaps, that those who fail do not teach their experiences for all to hear. If we had more opportunity to learn from the negative experiences of others, we might as well save our lives from certain disaster. Learn from other people's success. It is worth whatever time we must take and whatever we must invest to make a study of people who do well. Gather the ideas, the information from all the available sources. Read the books, attend the seminars, spend time gathering the knowledge that success requires. Study the habits, the language, the manner of dress, and the disciplines of those who have succeeded. One of the great sources of wisdom from those who have done well can be found in many quote books that are available in bookstores. Just by reading the words of what the greatest among us, past and present, have had to say, we can come to a better understanding of the thoughts that guided the lives of those who were great enough, persuasive enough, influential enough, and successful enough to be quoted. Capitalize on the power of positive influence. Each of us should be in constant search of people we can admire and respect. People after whom we can pattern our own behavior. Much of who and what we are at this very moment is a composite of the many people who have influenced us over the years. When we were younger, our idols were often storybook characters, movie stars, and famous musicians. For a while, we walked dressed and even trying to talk like our heroes. As we grew older and our unique personalities began to develop, our emulation of others became less apparent, but the influence was there nonetheless. Regardless of our age or circumstances, we are never beyond the reach of influence. The key is to find unique human beings whose personalities and achievements stimulate, fascinate, and inspire us, and then strive to assimilate their best qualities. Great projects are always built from a pattern or a blueprint. In this lifetime, there is no greater project than the deliberate development of our own lives. Therefore, we each need a blueprint, something or someone to look at and pattern ourselves after. If we want to make change and progress, we are all being influenced by someone. Since this influence will determine to some extent the direction of our lives, it is far better to deliberately choose the people we will permit to influence us than to allow the power of the wrong influence to weave its effect on us without our knowledge or conscious choice.